What's going on, people? What it is? Your boy Tony G, back at y'all again. What the first order of business is and always is building leaders and creating kings. Operation by building national development over generations. Blackops Bandog TV. Yeah, we're gonna get straight to it because I'm gonna make it short and sweet. But what I want to talk to y'all about today is family. First and foremost, I speak on family a lot, but the reason I speak on family so often is because that's the most important thing to me. That the very thing that I live for is the same exact thing that the very thing that I live for is the same exact thing that I'm gonna die for. But my family requires me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than any opposition. Let me say that again. My family requires me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than any opposition. But we're going to focus on being physically harder, making ourselves physically harder. We can run through anything. You understand what I'm saying? That we can run through anything, that we can get through anything. And that's the mindset that we got to have. That's the understanding that we got to have. We got to see it from that perspective. We can get through anything. We can make it through anything. Yeah, we can make it through anything. I said something a few posts ago about how oftentimes people ain't necessarily hating on you. It ain't always that people hating on you. Oftentimes people want to see you go through some things, to see you grow through some things. I said people want to see you go through some things, to see you grow through some things. They want to see how you get through it because people fearful. People cowards. A lot of times people scared. They too scared to really go through it themselves, so they rather see somebody else go through the fire. They rather see somebody else go through the fire. And to be honest, outside of them being cowards or fearful, if it worked for you, it worked for you. And that's a certain level of intelligence. Why make the mistake that you can watch or allow somebody else to make so you can learn from their mistakes? But in the same sense, you do get those individuals that's just scared and cowardly to go through and deal with the things that they need to go through. But we ain't going to talk too much on that because that ain't exactly what this is about. The biggest thing, that's just a segue into the bigger point. And the bottom line up front and the order of business today is do what needs to be done. Push through it. When you go through, understand that your kids is watching. When you go through what you go through, understand that your wife is watching. When you go through what you go through, understand that your nieces and your nephews and aunts and uncles and your family members are watching. Your community is watching. Somebody's always watching when you're going through what you go through. They want to see how you stand up to it. They want to see do you mount up to it. And if you're a man, like you say you're a man, then man up. Step up. And it's not to say that things aren't going to be hard. That's not to say things aren't going to be challenging. That's not to say that you're going to fall on hardships or hard might that sometimes make you take a little certain reservation towards whatever it is that you face with. But in the same sense, within that reservation, I don't care how long it takes for you to pause. I don't care if it takes for you to 1, 2, 3 and then jump into it. I don't care what it takes. The fact of the matter is it need to be done. Yeah, the fact of the matter is it need to be done. Who better to get through it? Who better to set the tone? Who better to set the example for all those individuals that I just said was watching? Who better than you? Who better than you? You got to build a callus. You got to build your body, your mind, mentally. You got to build yourself mentally strong. Set aside your physical, just for a short period of time while I'm speaking to y'all. The biggest thing I want you to really build on is that mental power. That mental power, shit. As long as you're mentally strong, the rest gonna come. As long as you're mentally strong, as long as you are able to be mentally strong, the rest will come. You got a mentality, you gotta have that mentality that I cannot be stopped. Nothing will stop me. I'm gonna make it happen. Regardless, if you face with it, whatever hardship it is, you just lost your job, you don't know which way you're gonna do it. You got a car, you got a vehicle, you may still be paying on your car. You gotta figure out how I'm gonna pay that. And that alone, just paying on my car, I still got rent, or I got mortgage, or I got kids and family I gotta take care of. How I'm gonna make it happen? And then take that same car that you had and start doing, I don't care if you gotta do Uber, you gotta do Lyft, you gotta do hacks or whatever, you gotta get it done. You got to get it done. Whatever it takes, you got to go out there and get it done. Or you ain't got no car. Or you don't have no truck. You don't have no vehicle. You ain't got no vehicle. Yeah, you better do like we see the Hispanics doing, the Mexicans doing that at home. You got some skills? Yeah, do like the Mexicans that doing at Home Depot and ride your bike to Home Depot and, let them know that you willing to work. You willing to go work and do a construction job. I don't care what it is. Get up there, get out there and get on your grind. You got some skills? Or you know how I work on cars. Yeah, well, go sit up there at Advanced Auto Parts when people come in there and they battery dead. Yeah, go do that. The move to what I'm saying is go get up, get out, go get it. Ain't no sitting on your ass. You got to break through them barriers. You got to break through them. I'm talking run through them like you're a running back. Yeah, we hitting them hard too. And it's no settling. It's not just accepting what is. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable by any stretch. But I'm talking by no means can I accept any man accepting defeat. If you lose, you lose, but you lose on your feet. You ain't bowing down. Ain't no sitting on your getting on your knees. Ain't no getting on your knees and giving up. What's giving up? Who said so? Who said that that's cool? Who said that that's okay? No, we stepping up. Ain't no giving up. We stepping up, standing up, and then we busting through it. That's how we gotta be. That's the mentality. That's the mentality that you gotta have. That can't be stopped. And we can't be stopped. And then the bigger thing is you got to put something in front of you. You got to put something in front of you worth reaching for. I don't know what it is. For me, I already explained it to you. It's family. As long as I got that in front of me, it ain't nothing that I can't do. It ain't nothing that I'm not going to see through. It ain't nothing that, man, listen, oftentimes we are our worst critics. You understand what I'm saying? I promise we are our worst critics. We suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality. Let me say it again. I said it before, but let me say it again. We suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality. Shit don't really be how we think it is. It's not really going to be as hard as we think it is. And even if it is, so what? Nobody said life is supposed to be easy. Huh? Who said that? Who told you life was supposed to be easy? Who said it's supposed to be a cakewalk? You was meant to go through something. That's how you grow. That's how you get stronger. That's how you build muscle. You don't build muscle off of just sitting there and breathing. You build muscle off of pushing. Pushing whatever force is pushing against you, pushing it in the opposite direction. The more and more you push, the stronger and stronger you get. Nothing in life ever gets easy. I don't care who it is, what level. We all suffer. We all play a victim at one point or another to something. I don't care whether from the richest of us to the poorest of us. We all a victim of something. We all fall short to tragedy. We can all be a victim to something. A victim of family, losing families. None of us are free from that. We all at one point or another are going to suffer loss. From one degree to the other. But the biggest thing is how you push through it. Men, stand up. You lose your family member, you ought to be the one standing up. Being able to push through, helping making the decisions on what's the next steps that our family is going to take. First, making sure that you're taking care of all the arrangements that need to be taken care of, the necessary steps that need to be made with regard to that death or that loss that you just had. And then from there, how we're going to move forward. How we're going to plunge forward, push forward, drive forward. I don't care what you call it, but the key term and what I was just saying is forward. Ain't no backwards. Ain't no backwards. Yeah, ain't nobody driving backwards unless you're a stunt car driver or something like that. You ain't driving backwards. You drive forward. You drive in a forward momentum. And listen, I'll tell you one thing, even if you look backwards for too long, you're looking at rear view for too long, you're liable to crash. Yeah, you can't keep on looking back. Whatever you had going on is no longer back there. What you got going on in your life is forward. It's in front of you. It's in front of you. Chase what's in front of you. Push through whatever's in front of you and make it happen. We making it happen. We're not selling it for less. We're not just accepting what is. We're gonna do whatever it is in our power to see us through, to see our families through. That's man shit. Live strong or die weak. Do man shit. Ain't no pressure. You know that. Like I said, I'm gonna make it short. It was just on my heart today. It was on my heart because I talked to a few good men. I talked to a few good men a few days ago. And in some of our conversations, I'm listening to one in particular. He had a hard story, a tragic story. You know, and I really don't understand how he buried. I really don't understand how he buried. And to be honest, he sounded like giving up. He sounded like giving up. And I can understand to a certain degree why he felt like giving up. What he lost? It ain't my story to tell, but what he lost, it'll break any man down. But in the same sense, a hard man, that same loss should build a hard man up. Sometimes you got to be broken down in order to be built back up. That's what I mean when I say my family requires me to be physically harder and mentally stronger. That elder he took was a hell of a loss. But that bounce back gonna make him even greater. I guarantee if he decides, if he truly and honestly make the decision to push forward, to fight through it, and to not only fight through it, but to educate himself on the matter. So much so that he don't gotta suffer that loss no more. That he don't have to suffer that loss no more. And if he do, and if he ever is faced with it again, he not only face it with a firm understanding or a firm grasp on what it takes to get through it, he face it with an understanding, I'm gonna beat it out the frame. Forget just getting through it. Forget just dealing with it. I'm gonna beat it out the frame. I'm gonna knock this one out the park. Let that hard ball come at me again. I'm gonna knock this one out of the park. That's man shit. But the first step is him really accepting the challenge. That's the first step, accepting that challenge. Do man shit. Live strong and die weak. Building leaders and creating kings operation by building national development over generations. We are kings. And I want to salute y'all soldiers. Until the next time, Blackops Bandog.